Because initially, bars were in towns. Nowadays, we have bars in the villages. Almost after 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, you get a bar. So access is very easy to acquire this alcohol. Also, there is the issue of cheap imports from our neighboring, cheap liquor, which are illicit from our neighboring countries. Of course, these are not licensed, but we still get them, which they come through dubious means. So maybe also those who are in charge of the border control, KRA, the people of customs, they should tighten this cheap liquor that come through our border. I take this to my local constituency, that's Keyo South constituency. I must thank the local administration, the DCC, the chiefs, the sub-chiefs. They are really doing a good work. And as their leader, I will support them. So far, through public participation, they have been able to close some bars in certain areas because the residents of those centers have said we don't want bars in these centers. I call on the people of Keyo South that let's support the local administration, let's support our DCCs, our chiefs, our sub-chiefs, our village elders as we try to work together through a whole approach of the society to eradicate the issue of alcoholism. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. There seems to be no more interest on this motion. I will call the mover to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all the honorable members who have taken their time to debate on this issue. And most probably the alcohol, I've seen it's the matter that has been raised severally. And I acknowledge my sister here who has addressed our young future leaders at the gallery there. We are reminding you that alcohol is bad for you. If you see us grown up saying it is bad, it is worse for you. And so we are requesting you, please abstain from alcohol. Honorable Speaker, all the recommendations that were made were done by a full committee, and I recommend my committee that they are always punctual for our meetings. They always contribute fairly to the matters that arise, and I can see a honorable member is part of our committee acknowledging that. So we are one committee that never misses quorum. We never call for quorum. It is automatic. When there is a meeting, our committee is always seated. I thank them very much for that positive attitude. I also thank our support staff who help us go through all these audit queries. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and I request you to kindly defer putting the question under POSIT Standing Order 53/3 to another sitting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The request is assented to. Next order.
Order number 13, motion. Reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Land Settlements Fund and the Railway Development Fund.
Chairperson, Special Funds Account Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move to this House adopts the audited financial statement of the Land Settlement Fund for the financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. 2, the Railway Development Fund holding account for the financial year 2017-2018 to 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the committee received oral and written submission from the following accounting officers: Mr. Nixon Corey, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Lands, and Mr. Mohammed Dagor, the Principal Secretary, State Department Transport. Honorable Speaker, in considering the report, the oral and the written submission received form the basis of the observations, findings, and recommendations of the committee as outlined in this report under each of the audit queries. These are also contained in the minutes and the answered reports of the committee proceedings. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee noted the following general observations: long outstanding receivables from exchange transactions. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the land loan and development loan issued to settlers by the Land Settlement Fund as backers of the year 1962 have remained outstanding to date. The fund has outstanding land loans and development loans equivalent to 6,811,916,396 shillings and 68,966,377. The outstanding interest on the loans at 30th June 2022 was at 5,163,149 shillings. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that within 6 months upon the adoption of the report, the accounting officer to provide a progress report on the recovery of the principal loan and the outstanding interest receivable to the Auditor General for audit verification. Undisputed land, undistributed land. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the land in Kisimanjaro in Nakuru County that was meant for resettlement of the IDPs in 2012 had not been surveyed or subdivided, and therefore the beneficiaries had not settled over 10 years after the purchase of the land due to ongoing court cases which restrained the Land Settlement Fund from interfering with the land parcel. Honorable Speaker, the committee also observed that the delay in the distribution of the land for the informal settlers in Mikanjuni farm in Kilifi County and Kazandani land in Mombasa County was occasioned by the ongoing planning to cater for the amenities such as access roads and public utility facilities. Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that the accounting officer to fast-track the resolution of the dispute with the county government of Kilifi to bring the matter to a conclusion and settle the IDPs, and within 3 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officer to provide progress report on the resolution of the dispute to the Auditor General. 2, Madam Speaker, the committee recommends within 6 months of the adoption of this report, the accounting officer to provide a status report on the resettlement of the informal settlers in the Kazdani land to Auditor General for the audit verification. Madam Speaker, the committee observed that a field verification conducted by the Office of the Auditor General during the month of September 2022 sampled land adjudication and settlement officers revealed that stations operated a bank account for funds received for the office administration but did not maintain a cash book. Further, the monthly bank reconciliation statement had not been prepared and submitted to the National Treasury with a copy of the Office of the Auditor General as stipulated under Regulation 90/1 of the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015. Madam Speaker, the committee noted that the accounting officer's submission that all the county land adjudications and settlements officers in charge were instructed by the Office of the Director of Land Adjudication and Settlement to adhere to Regulations 90/1 of the Public Finance Management Act for control, accountability of finances, and smooth, efficient running of office operations. Excuse me. Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that the accounting officer to ensure that proper applicable accounting and financial control systems, standards, laws, and procedures are followed in the preparation of the financial statement in the compliance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and in accordance with the standard prescribed by the Public Sector Accounting Standard Board as per the Regulation 101/4 of the Public Finance Management National Government Regulations 2012. Madam Speaker, there was also discrepancies in report receipts. The committee observed that 21,613,549,219 revenue collection by the Railway Development